What is good, Cardano fam, Ada gang? We have lots of exciting updates to unpack today, so hit that subscribe, hit that like. Famous actor and comedian Martin Lawrence says, still have my Cardano ADA. Great positive sentiment from different networks. All in crypto, says Charles Hoskinson, founder of Cardano. I'm a big fan of. Mentioned Sui. ADA did 100x last bull market. I've been following him since 2015. Charles doesn't get as much credit as he deserves. Fantastic. Very big channel to give that shout out. Almost 100,000 subscribers. So big shout out to All in Crypto. And again, Crypto Hulk. On cryptos with ISO 20022. Global standards compliant with the law. That includes XRP, Cardano, Quant, Algo, XLM, HBAR, IOTA, XDC. That's it. And he said that, sure, many will be in the pipeline, but that's kind of the official list. And so we know that Cardano is moving in the right way. He's not a big fan of Cardano. He's voiced that. But it's great that he also read that list, including Cardano ADA. So big shout out to Crypto Hulk. Thank you for at least giving some exposure to Cardano. And maybe you can change your mind because we like XRP. I like XRP. We see how Ripple and XRPL Labs have worked together with IOG as final founding members of the DREC Alliance. Brad Garlinghouse expects a USA-centric ETF for Cardano. And Charles Hoskinson has spoken highly of CTO at Ripple, David Schwartz. So I think that it's harder, but we need to work together. That's the only way we're going to work towards a cross-chain, omni-chain, multi-chain future. Dex Hunter, there's one main thing preventing Cardano tokens from being listed on tier 1 exchanges: volume. For sure. Volume is so important. It is like the pulse of a project. We are going to fix it. Huge announcement soon. Fantastic. Really exciting, guys. Speaking of, and the founder of Dex Hunter, Melon, says breaking. Bubble maps are coming to Cardano. Now, if I'm not mistaken, bubble maps plays a big role in aggregating, hub and spoke, connecting wallets together, showing a lot of insights. If I'm not mistaken, I think I used their tool back in 2022. So again, more details soon, he says, but I think this is very exciting to see bubble maps. And I would really like to see DEX tools. I know people spoke about it, anticipating it. Cardano, I would love to see a further, deeper integration with DEX Screener and also DEX tools. Those are important. Now, yesterday we spoke about USDC, right? And we know that it's in the hands of Cardano Foundation for negotiations. We know that Charles Hoskinson said that Cardano Foundation is in quote-unquote aggressive negotiations with Circle. And this drama kicked off because of Sui. Sui just got native integration with USDC. And so Rick ran a poll saying, do you want native USDC on Cardano? A resounding yes. I voted yes. There's still 2 days left. Everything's linked below if you guys want to vote. Almost 75% say yes. And usually the arguments that say no are like, but it can be frozen. It can be this. It can be that. Guys, we got to be realistic. We got a bunch of crypto bros on the internet. We got a bunch of crypto bros using conventional Web 1 and Web 2 things, thinking they're not doxed, but truly they are. We have to be pragmatic. And I think that USDC and USDT, I both support, I like, and I think they will do a great job with branding and perception, since marketing is all perception. It's all psychology. And it will help a lot. Most notably, it's not just smoke and mirrors, because this is liquid finance, USDC supply and demand right now for WAN chain wrapped USDC. So you can still trade USDC, USDT, albeit bridged. So we are talking about native integration, but look at that, almost 3 billion USDC. And I know WAN chain, we'll take a look at some interesting analytics, continues to show that some of the highest TXs are with these stablecoins. Don't say Jed. I don't want to hear it. We have now successfully added Strike on CoinGecko. Shout out to Strike Finance. We haven't been covering them lately, but great to see. They do a bunch of stuff with derivatives, open source derivatives protocol. And so good stuff. And when I'm talking about USDC, guys, just so we don't get lost, I do see also a future where USDA, USDM will also play an important role. We just need both. Why not both? It doesn't need to be mutually exclusive, right? Everyone has different needs, and that's the whole point of DeFi. Big news for tokenized gold. As we know, Finest launched the F Gold, tokenized gold, Cardano native token. And so there was some valid criticism and they integrated it. The price for tokenized gold, F Gold, was higher than most of you expected due to storage fees, low order volumes, and finest fees. So we sat down and decided to restructure our pricing and cost model to reduce these fees massively. Here are the changes. So physical redemption fees. The old was €9 per gram. That can get costly fast. The new is 1% of the gold price, so should reflect with much lower prices. Initial sale fee was €9 per gram, and now it's 1% of the sale initial transaction. So these changes are immediate. They're already in effect. This means that today, on October 8th, yesterday, you will get 1 gram of tokenized gold in the form of F Gold for 84.44 USD. Of course, prices will change. Previously, it would have been nearly $10 more. With this more competitive pricing structure, we're competitive with other Web3 tokenized gold products. Our goal is to make F Gold as accessible as possible, and we feel like this change was a massive step in the right direction. So changes are effective immediately. So good stuff. And I really like that this is just a Cardano native token. It's going to be very easy for like swaps and making it very accessible and liquid. Good stuff. Keystone Hardware Wallet. Big news, Cardano fan. Our Vesper wallet integration is live. Now you can send, receive, swap, and stake your Cardano assets with the rock-solid security of Keystone. Sign message is on the way. No Keystone, you can use their code Vesper Launch and get 15% off before October 11th. And disclosure, guys, I'm not affiliated to any of these projects. None of them pay me a penny. I like to aggregate exciting projects. And if anyone does pay me, you will hear that disclosure. That's what makes Angry Crypto different. We're here to talk about exciting news, look at narrative and qualitative research, but also be transparent when it comes to disclosure, something that's really lacking. That's why I called it Angry Crypto. Vesper, as far as I know, has had a really good, people refer to it as like the Phantom, that they have a great UX UI. So I remember back in the Nike days, people really enjoyed Vesper. So let's talk about bridges. Cardano community, a new cross-chain route for ETH is available. New ETH bridge route. So a new flow, a new route going in and out of Cardano via ETH on Base. Fantastic to see this. They continue to add so many ways to flow in and out of Cardano with very different assets. I know recently they added like BNB route going into Cardano with ETH. Now we have ETH on Base. So good stuff. They continue to plug in value. And I think this is great because even though bridges get scapegoated, obviously people are using them right now to bridge USDC, USDT, and stuff like this will move capital. And what is money if it doesn't move, right? And celebrating 1.2 billion cross-chain volume. Seems like only yesterday that we achieved the monumental $1 billion mark. Now we're adding the next 200 mil. So congratulations to WanChain. I really enjoy their infographics. Shout out to their graphic designer, whoever that is. They're doing a great job. Good communication. Now, bear with me, guys. Hit that sub, hit that like, because this is a lot to digest. So we'll start in progressive manner and get a little bit longer. The first legally enforceable contract on Cardano in compliance with Argentinian law, says Cardano Whale. And Morrow has been going in, just pushing the adoption of Cardano compliance in Argentina. We did it. We have just signed the first legally and judicially enforceable contract on the Cardano network in full compliance with the laws of the Argentine Republic. What does this mean? It means that thanks to the legal framework provided in the process carried out, any breach can be enforced in court for the performance of the obligation in ADA. The contractual object was a loan between me and Lucas in ADA for the amount of $10,000 payable in 4 months at an interest rate of 10%. The transaction is notarized with the TX ID. In the photos of this thread, you can see many important details in the legal document, including the mention of the network, my wallet, and the transaction ID of the loan agreement. Shout out to him for being he's been replying endlessly to questions, to ambiguity, providing clarity, and so much respect to these people who have been pushing for compliance. I can't imagine it to be easy. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know that field. I'm a UX designer, graphics guy. This is undoubtedly a significant advancement. For now, I can't share the full contract because it has a bunch of personal details. Absolutely a significant milestone. Legally, this establishes evidence and streamlines procedural steps, marking the initial phase of creating favorable jurisprudence in the country and facilitating commercial transactions. So it's the first step towards more and more compliance. Additionally, it serves as a necessary precursor for future legal smart contracts. This development lays the groundwork and fortifies the system. Moving forward, we must focus on educating the judges. However, we have a robust legal framework for contracts based on the Argentine Civil and Commercial Code and Presidential Decree 70/23 issued by the president. So great stuff. If you guys want to learn more, everything's linked below. If you have any questions, I'm sure that he will respond in a timely manner. I've been seeing him going in and out, just constantly providing feedback. Another great reply. This structure and the associated benefits will also enable all companies within the Cardano ecosystem, such as NMKR or Emergo or Iagon or Palm, to legally structure their business if they choose to do so. These organizations can leverage the results and advantages of this development, ensuring a solid legal framework for their commercial activities using the Cardano network. And I also saw Fluid replying like, hey, interested to talk more. And we know that Fluid and others have played a role with Finest, and Finest has EU compliance. So guys, when we put everything together, ISO 20022, this sort of compliance moves, conversations with the president, fireside chat with Binance CEO around the corner, decentralization, governance, burning of the Genesis keys. We are up there with the top altcoins in terms of compliance. Good question, good answer. So is ADA a legalized mode of payment in your jurisdiction? If the borrower fails to pay, what is the likelihood that the judge doesn't throw out the case because of the vague payment method used? I think that's a good question. And Mauro says that. Amazing question. This was included in a comprehensive legal reform that Argentina underwent in Decree 70/23. Now, the law requires judges to respect what has been agreed upon by the parties and prohibits them from changing the object of the contract without mutual consent. I really like this because it makes it easy to understand that they need to respect that object. They cannot change that. So, of course, we need to evolve this and progress more into this. It's the first step, setting the bedrock, but fantastic nonetheless. Finally, another one, and there's so much detailed conversation, I won't get into all of it, the video would be too long. That is a point I somehow missed. I thought it was a contract on the Cardano blockchain. In what way does it incorporate the Cardano network, excuse me, other than specifying payment in ADA? Mauro responds saying it establishes the Cardano network and transactions as a sole means of providing compliance or non-compliance with interest calculated in ADA. It recognizes the delivery of the loan along with all its legal effects by integrating the transaction ID, thereby allowing for the establishment of a specific jurisdiction for this dispute. This can serve as a first layer for later constituting a legal smart contract, which means an automatically enforceable contract, but with all its variables confirmed to a specific law, location, or court, providing legal certainty. So I think that provides a lot of legal clarity. And I think Whale really hit it in the nail in terms of a very simple way. The first legally enforceable contract on Cardano in compliance with Argentinian law. So good stuff. There is more. You can read this, which is very, very long. But if you want to read that comprehensive legal framework utilized to achieve this accomplishment, that is linked also for you guys. Now, before we look at price, I really like this post by Dan. Shout out to Dan. My brother's name is Dan. You know, from one Dan to another Dan. I remember this feeling in 2020. The bull market is arriving. Bull market is arriving, excuse me. I can sense it. I can smell it. Prepare. Now, Dan is looking at charts day in, day out. And so it's very easy to put 1 and 2 together. Again, we're looking at Bitcoin dominance. It's come down a little bit, but still at 58%. And we know that this blue line, Cardano ATH number 1. What's that Bitcoin dominance? 38%. Cardano ATH number 2. What's that dominance? 40%. So altcoin season is not here yet. All the chads know this. All the clowns chasing tickers, all the tickers under the sun, all the pump.fun clowns, all the people who are just like caught in 5-minute charts are the ones coping, and they think that all the alts are dead, and they're making fun of Ethereum and XRP and Cardano ADA and insert altcoin here. They don't get the big narrative. It's like they just walked into the theater for 5 minutes and walked out. They didn't watch the intro. They didn't see the main protagonist. They don't see how the story is evolving. But we've been predicting, guys, time and time again, we predicted that post-Bitcoin halving, it's going to be kind of jittery. It's going to be bearish. And we kept saying, even at 40 cents, not to toot our horn, we've been saying even at the 40 cents that it's going to tumble down, that we're going to have some jitter volatility. So as much as people say October, sometimes history repeats, but sometimes it rhymes. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. Bitcoin global search is still very low at 17% compared to May 2021. Search queries are still high for all the alts, but very low compared to the ATHs in 2021. So what I'm getting at is that I think, even with Dan and many others, I think that Q1/Q2 of 2025 will be when altcoin season starts. Whether that's winter, whether that's spring, we're going to see what happens. It could be a little bit later, but generally speaking, approximately in that range. What price can we hit? I think we will surpass $3. We have, even if you don't have the quote unquote users, let's just play devil's advocate. Even if you don't have the real massive amount of users, hundreds of thousands and millions, just from speculation, that drives price up. Just from narrative, that drives price up. Just from branding and graphics and charismatic leadership, that drives it up. And we are leaning into that narrative, as we heard on Steve-O, the safe and secure. The one guy said, I apologize, don't recall his name. He said, I don't know how it works. I just know it's safe and secure. Citing the Dubai Police Interpol collaboration, that pilot program. We are the safe and secure chain, but it's not just story. It is. It's been like 7 years of uptime, 24/7. Many others also agree to that too. Rob, in another video recently, didn't show you guys, was saying that as well with the uptime, the resilience of Cardano. So I think that I think we can surpass $3. Probable ATH, I'm gonna say something like $5 to $7, probably. I don't know about saying like $10, $20. I would rather lean on caution, because in the last cycle, guys, people said 100K was programmed. Didn't happen. In the last cycle, we had like Kim.com saying that BCH would hit 5K in January of 2022. Definitely didn't happen. So whatever people say, bring your expectations lower, because you can't really time the top and the bottom. But more or less for Cardano, I think we are in the final buying window before we send it. Let me know what you guys think. What is your prediction for Cardano ADA's all-time high? And when do you think will happen? Do you agree Q1/Q2 2025? Would it be later? Would it be earlier? And yeah, I think exciting times. It's great to see other people talk about positive sentiment towards Cardano. Even with Crypto Hulk, if he's not positive to Cardano, he's still forced to mention Cardano as he's reading this list. And, good old Martin Lawrence still holding his Cardano. So when you add everything, especially with the compliance in Argentina, it's not really complicated, guys. Often it's simple. We complicate it, and often we need patience, but we're chasing all the new shite coins under the sun. Don't chase all the new shite coins under the sun, because you inherit the stress that comes with monitoring and observing it. I just focus on the blue chips, and my biggest altcoin holdings are Cardano and XRP. Significantly more Cardano. But again, and you can see, Compliance, Direct Alliance, Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple, Stuart Alderoti, Charles Hoskinson. So I keep it simple. Less is more. Anyways, guys, have a fantastic day. Hit that subscribe, hit that like. I'll see you in the next Angry Crypto Show.